Welcome to BattleBlogs, where I talk about robotic combat, specifically the BattleBots brand. Apparently, I was wrong with the dates somewhere. Don't know where I messed up, but according to Wikipedia and my DVR, I should have the dates right as of now for these following episodes. I'm going to be looking at the March 10th and March 17th episode of BattleBots. The last round of the preliminary and the first round of the actual tournament. I have to just say, Glitch is on a roll. Again, this weird little gliding bot has managed to go undefeated going into the tournament. It's just not losing. It's very inspiring, I think. Anyway, speaking of inspiring, Mad Catter's driver is a hoot. He's picked up a kind of persona for himself that is very much like a 1980s and mid-90s pro wrestler, channeling a lot of Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage. When he gets into the interviews before and after matches, like, "Let me tell you something," and then he just goes, he does a wrestling promo, and it's very entertaining. Mad Catter's doing okay. Looks like he's going to make it into the tournament. But poor Rusty will not. Rusty is an odd little bot. It seems like it'd be a joke, since it's made primarily of scrap metal. But he's actually won some matches and the hearts of the BattleBots fans. Everyone loves Rusty, including Witch Doctor's driver. And she did not, Witch Doctor's owner, the Galatleys, they did not want to actually hurt Rusty. They felt bad doing it, but they had to have that win and had to proceed. So they took on Rusty and won. It wasn't even heartbreaking. Rusty kind of felt like that kind of boxer that just refused to go down, but went down anyway. It's alright. And with that, the tournament is set. The bracket was laid out. We knew who was going to start going down the bracket. Unfortunately, we were getting YouTube exclusive matches. We weren't seeing every match in the tournament. And I can understand that for the preliminaries, but no, show every match in the tournament, even if it is ridiculously short, or for some reason. That's just a bad call and is bound to tick off a lot of fans. And I believe it did. Didn't really look a lot at the online backlash, but I'm pretty sure it did upset a lot of fans. It upset me. But, the cat was not meowing or bugging anything before I started. When I started before. But, as soon as I started with this, he started scratching at the door and meowing and ruining everything. Anyway, let's try to get through this and ignore him very quickly. Let's see what I got on this. Oh! We had Hypershock going up against P1 in one of the first rounds. And I told you so. I did my breakdown of Hypershock a while back. And I said I thought it was a questionable move for him to remove his self-righting mechanism this time around this tournament. And wouldn't you know it, P1 flipped Hypershock upside down and took control of the match. If Hypershock was able to right himself back right side up, he might have been able to actually turn it around and continue on. But instead, P1 took the victory and proceeded on in the tournament. I do love P1. It's very simple, more old school design. Reminds me of the older days of this sport. The main event in the tournament, what they put down in the main event this time around in the whatever comes before the quarterfinals or whatever. That was the round of 32. Then there's the round of 16. Then there's the quarters, semi. Okay, so anyway, in the round of 32, we had Scorpios versus Endgame, the returning champion. And Endgame, no one to scoff at. Those plucky New Zealanders built one heck of a machine, and he just wins. It's very difficult for him not to win. And there's no exception, because he did beat Scorpios. And so Endgame moves on to the next round. I couldn't pick a... What was that? Anyway, I couldn't pick a bot to analyze this time around. There were so many great choices, I just didn't... I didn't know what to go with. So, instead, I think it's about time to wrap this up. No bot to analyze. We're just gonna move on to the next episode where I'm going to try to pack all of the remaining tournament matches in one final episode for this season. But until then, it's robot fighting time.